Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to a Friday edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella, and it is arguably the best day of the year. We come to you very happily celebrating our 35th birthday here on The Rome Show. And I know it's my birthday, and most people said, are you really going to go to work? Are you going to really do The Rome Show? Are you going to really do all these things on your birthday? And I said, yes. Yes, I am. Because I love being behind the microphone. I love coaching baseball, and there's no other way I can think about spending my birthday outside of hanging out with my beautiful fiance and my family, than speaking to you on the microphone. And we got a lot to talk about. Okay, and not that Thursday night football game last night where the Los Angeles Chargers defeated the Minnesota Vikings 37-10. Vidal and Herbert had a day for the Chargers. Chargers defense was electric. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We have the World Series starting tonight. The Dodgers are looking to go back-to-back for the first time in Major League Baseball in nearly 25 years. The Toronto Blue Jays are in the World Series for the first time since 1993 and arguably have one of the best offenses heading into the Game 7 World Series that we've seen in a minute. We're going to go around the NFL, as we do every single Friday, because not only do we go around the NFL, Watchin, we want to let you know what you need to watch tonight and this weekend. Finally, it's Seska Sense. As we do every single week, our guy Rich Seska gives us his college football picks, and we give them to you to make some bananas. If you want to get in on the action, the Rome Show is commentable. It's the best word I could come up with there on youtube.com/the Romanellas. That's youtube.com/the Romanellas. Also, Twitter, X, and Instagram, The Rome Show 1. That's The Rome Show, then the number 1. And Facebook, the OG social media site, The Rome Show on Facebook. We'd love to know your thoughts. Give us your comments, or I'd love to know what's the best way you have spent your birthday. Tonight, we are going to the Devils and the Sharks game. I'm super stoked about it. You know, maybe a little bit of a straight off the Rome here, but I think about this all the time. And I don't know who's listening out there that's maybe older than me or younger than me or whatever, but I'm a firm believer that everyone deserves to celebrate their birthday, okay? I don't care how old you are, your 24 hours, your day of birth, you deserve to celebrate it. But one thing I've realized as I get a little bit older is I have this wild fight with myself between like what the day should look like, what I want out of the day, what expectations I'm putting on myself. It's wild. So today, my fiance and I said, we're going to take this thing really easy. She took off from work. Genius. My fiance turns 35 tomorrow, so I'm going to work from home. I was like, that's genius. I'm working all day, and she's working from home in honor of me. I thought that was awesome. But I realized it doesn't matter because it's not about what you do on your birthday. It's about who wants to celebrate you or celebrate with you or just simply fire you up on your day of birth. So what went from, am I even going to do anything for my birthday, to, oh man, I can't wait. I haven't been to a Devils game in like a long time. And they're playing some really good puck right now. So if you want to check out the 6-1 Devils, number 1 in the National Hockey League right now, Hockey with Rocky talked about this yesterday. If you missed it, Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Look for my beautiful face on television. I thought I'd wear my new hoodie tonight. You know, I'm testing it out on the Rome Show. Feel really good about it. Oh, I see my mother has commented. Thank you, Debbie. I love you. You're the reason I even have a birthday. And Julia.m.Frazier. If it's not my mother commenting on the show live, that is a top 5 name I'd love to see here on my birthday. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. You can comment live as well. The Rome Show 1 Instagram, Twitter, or the Romanellas on YouTube. Let's get into the sports portion of this program. Starting with the World Series, we have the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays squaring off tonight. And I think this is going to be a really fun World Series, not just because, oh, well, it's the 2 best teams left and it's the World Series. It should be fun, Andrew. No, because there is one pure strength for one of these teams heading into this series. And there's another pure strength for the other team on the opposite side of the ball heading into this series. Here's what I mean by that. Okay. I think that there's a clear offensive advantage for the Toronto Blue Jays right now. And I think there's a clear pitching advantage for the Los Angeles Dodgers right now. And the crazy part about saying that is this. Even with the Dodgers offense struggling right now to their standards, hitting .256 in the postseason, averaging 4.5 runs a game, 13 homers, 2 stolen bases, not jump off the page numbers, yet the names on that roster jump off the page. Freddie Freeman's had a homer in like 6 of his last 7 postseason games. He's like a World Series career hitter, like .330. The dude's elite. Mookie Betts is the best player in Major League Baseball, like hands down, straight up position player. Mookie Betts, if he's not number 1, he's Mount Rushmore. You could go up and down this Dodgers lineup on paper, and you're like, this is the best lineup in baseball. Like, there's no doubt. But their numbers aren't producing it that way. And don't let Shohei Ohtani's 5 total home runs fool you. Offensively, he has not been great in this postseason. 3 of those 5 home runs came in one game. Game 4 against Milwaukee. So the clear and above advantage offensively right now goes to the Blue Jays. They're averaging 6.5 a game. So they're averaging nearly 2 more runs a game coming into this than the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're hitting nearly 40 points better. 296, this team. And they're led by their guy, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And we talked about this a lot. When you get to the postseason and you want to win a championship or you want to make a run, your best players have to be your best players. And right now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the Toronto Blue Jays' best player, hitting .442, 6 homers, and 12 RBIs. So offensively, Toronto comes into this series and they're banging it around, and it's a good feeling. Man, we can hit anyone. We can outscore anyone. But anyone is not the Los Angeles Dodgers pitching staff, okay? Which so far has pitched to a postseason tune of a .245 ERA and an opponent's batting average of .173. Under the Mendoza line, the proverbial 200 line that essentially says whether or not you're really atrocious at hitting a baseball or not. So you're telling me that despite their offense being like not okay, but kind of bad based on the standard that they should be living to, but yet they went out and they swept the NL West champion team with the best record in the NL throughout the entire regular season in 4 games, because pitching and defense wins championships. And that's what the Dodgers have right now. They've allowed 15 less runs than the Toronto Blue Jays. And I get it. The Blue Jays went all 7 games in the last series. I get that. But these are not fake numbers. These are not, oh, well, they haven't played as many games. This pitching staff is dominant. And it's going to be very hard for this Blue Jays team to score runs. Final thought here. When it comes to this matchup of Blue Jays great offense against Dodgers great pitching, the Blue Jays are the best contact rate team in the league. So essentially, bat to ball skills Put the ball in play. Best team in the league. The Dodgers have struck out 98 people. 98 in their 8-game postseason run. That's ridiculous. But that is a pure 1v1 situation. This is the best. You can't touch the baseball team. And this is the best. We're always touching the baseball team. And they clash in the World Series. And not only that, they get to cross borders. I don't know if you've ever been to a professional baseball game in Canada, but it is electric. And home field advantage lies in Toronto. What do I want to do here, people? Well, I want to choose the Blue Jays. I want to. I believe in the Blue Jays. I want to choose the Blue Jays. I just love the Blue Jays. I want Don Mattingly to get a World Series for the first time in his 40-year combined coach and player career. But I got to take the Dodgers. And I'm going to take the Dodgers in 7 games. I think this is going to knock down, drag out series. I think the Blue Jays are the best team to go up against this elite level Dodgers franchise. But after 7 games, I'm going to believe in pitching and defense. And that's what the Dodgers have going for them headed into the World Series. Jay Keefe 73 writes in. And before I give you this comment, I just let you know that there's not one baseball manager out there that's living that I believe in more than Jay Keefe 73. If you are the New York Yankees or you are the New York Mets or you're any of these franchises that's like, who the hell should manage my ball club? Well, there's a guy who was just named the Atlantic League Manager of the Year. I've been fortunate enough to manage or coach underneath this guy, I guess I'd say 5 of my 12 years. And Jay Keefe 73 is the real deal. So A, thank you for writing in. But B, this is my PSA out there to some professional baseball franchises. Though you got the right guy. And you know who his pitching coach is? Frank Viola. Yeah, that's right. Former Cy Young Award winner. The staff is already ready, Yankees. Just bring them in, and we're locked and ready to go. Jay Keefe 73 writes, pitching gets you to the playoffs. Offense wins in the playoffs. You know, being that I just gave him his flowers on how he should be the best manager and one of the 32 in Major League Baseball, I see his point, though. He's right. You can't have a bad pitching staff. You're not making the playoffs over 162 games. But you can outslug some people. If you can get the starter out for the Dodgers, you never know what the bullpen looks like. Appreciate the write. And you can write in too. Instagram.com, The Rome Show 1, or Twitter X, The Rome Show 1, YouTube.com/ The Romanellas. We're not going to dive deep into this, okay? But I just want to give you some thoughts before our quick commercial break. If you haven't heard, go do some research because there is a wild gambling story going on in the National Basketball Association, which has Terry Rozier arrested yesterday. It has head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, arrested yesterday. And it has longtime assistant coach Damon Jones arrested yesterday. Here, it's a 3-part situation. Terry Rozier arrested for potentially over the course of a year, kind of skewing games so that his peoples could win some prop bets, whether that's taking himself out of a game or just playing terrible basketball. Scary Terry was clearly utilizing some of the sites illegally to make some side cash. Chauncey Billups, however, in not the same gambling probe, has been arrested for being connected with the 4 crime families in New York, the 4 major crime families, for an illegal pokering ring where they were bringing in apparently innocent people who thought they were playing innocent games of poker, and they were using X-ray cards and X-ray tables and cameras in the dealer card machine and all this other crazy stuff to scam people out of the poker money. Wild. Okay. And apparently Chauncey Billups was what they call a face card. So he was a big name athlete that would bring in these big high roller dudes so that these high roller dudes would get fished into losing all their poker money because the whole table was cheating, because the Gambinos and the Lucchese's and the crime families you've watched on Netflix for 40 years had some dudes in the NBA face carding for him to make millions. Crazy. And when the FBI came out with this yesterday, it was almost like a jaw drop moment for anyone that watches sports. It's like, what am I watching right now? The last one, Damon Jones, he was an assistant for the Lakers, and apparently when LeBron was like hurt or something, he was giving out some information. So long and short, we have a lot of time to break this down because it's going to start to unfold a lot of ways in the next few days. Long and short, though, sports has a gambling problem. But this is nothing new. This is not a 2025 thing. This is not a FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN bet thing. This is the history of sports, people. Literally, we can go back to 1919, 106 years ago, and we could talk about how a guy that was a potential Hall of Famer in Shoeless Joe Jackson and the Black Sox, 8 men out, read the book, through that World Series so they can make a little bit of money on the side. That was 106 years ago. So this is nothing new. This is not something that's like, oh, well, now we legalize gambling, so of course there are people throwing games. No, this has literally been the history of sport. Now the sport is just making money off the legal sites, as opposed to saying, well, I mean, it's going on behind our back. They're betting on baseball. They're betting on football. We might as well make some money out of it in deals. But this is not a FanDuel, DraftKings problem. This is it has been a sports problem for the history of time. So I'm very excited to see how the NBA handles this, because I think kind of like the Shohei Ohtani's bookie, agent, translator guy thing, and so many others across the leagues, like how this is handled is super important. And by the way, humans, it's kind of crazy to think that we've been fighting for Pete Rose for 50 years or something like that. And it's like, again, think about what we just said. Pete Rose 50 years ago, and today, it's like the same thing. Not the same type of gambling, not the same choices of gambling, but it's a gambling accusation around an athlete or a coach inside the game. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the history of sports. For the last 110 years, this has been going on. I don't know how you stop it. Jay Keefe 73, love you too, bro. Thanks for writing in. We'll take a quick commercial break here on the Rome Show. We come back, we give you all of our picks. We're on the gridiron for the last 10 minutes of this show. NFL, Seska Sense, what you watching?
Watchin.
The Rome Show on a birthday Friday. Fire me up. I'll see you after this commercial break. See you in a second.
It's the Rome Show!
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Welcome back into the Rome Show here, October 24th, 2025. It's a Friday, arguably the greatest day in the history of the world. My birthday, so I get it. I didn't say it. I guess people might have been writing it in. I have no idea. Let's talk some football, people, because I want to get to all the games this weekend and Seska's Sense. So let's start with the National Football League Week 8. We'll take you through. We'll give you all of our picks, and then we will go through Seska Sense and what you're watching, because I got to get out of here so I can have some fun on said birthday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. We're going through the National Football League, and we are starting with the Miami Dolphins. Oh, yeah, we are. They travel to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Falcons are favored by this thing by 7.5 points. I'm going to take the Dolphins, actually, at the plus 7.5. Long and short, this has been 2 years for the Dolphins of starting 1-6, 2-5, 1-7, 0-4, whatever the case is. This would be that random game that they cover. I'm not saying they win it, but that it's a really tight, close contest. So do I think Atlanta still wins? Most likely, but I'll take the Dolphins at the plus 7.5. The Jets, they travel to the Bengals. They're looking for their first victory. Joe Flacco's looking to stay in the league. The Bengals are favored in this one by 6.5. I trust the Jets zilch, so I'll take the Bengals at the 6.5. Browns at Patriots. I want to take the Pats really badly because they've been playing good. They're 5-2. They're atop the AFC East. They're atop the AFC. All of those good things. But the Browns are pesky. They're coming off their best win probably in this Kevin Stefanski era outside of the Baker Mayfield postseason victory, and their defense is really good. So I'll take the Browns at the plus 7.5 here. If you're asking me for a banana line, I'll still probably take the Pats, but I think the Browns cover the 7.5. The Giants, they're looking to bounce back after that atrocious fourth quarter where they gave up 33 points against the Denver Broncos. They travel to Philadelphia to host the Eagles off their best passing performance of the year. Jalen Hurts probably best of his career. The Eagles are trying to also kick the Giants back in the teeth for beating them the last time these two teams met at MetLife. So I'm going to take the Eagles actually in this one, and I'm going to take them. I'll take the Giants at the plus 7.5, but I'll take the Eagles on the money line. Bills, they travel to Carolina. They're favored by 7.5. I will take that. Bears, they travel to Baltimore. Baltimore's favored in this by 6.5. I got 2 picks for you. If Lamar Jackson plays, take Baltimore at the 6.5. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play, take Chicago at the plus 6.5. They're on a 4-game winning streak. 49ers in Houston. Houston is favored in this. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Houston at 2-4, favored in this one by 2.5 points. I'm taking the Niners. I put them in my top 5 the other day because they are a team that finds a way to win no matter their quarterback. Give me the Niners plus 2.5. Buccaneers, they travel to New Orleans, only favored by 4.5 in this game. Why? Because it's not 7.5 because you're in New Orleans, and New Orleans has proven to fight every team this year. Do I think that they win? No. Do I think the Bucs? Yes. Bounce back? Yes. Minus 4.5. Give me Tampa. Cowboys in Denver, minus 3.5. Denver is favored in this one. I don't trust them. Every game's tight with this Denver team, so give me the Cowboys at the plus 3.5. Plus, that offense is legitimate. Titans at Colts. Colts are favored by 14.5. Think about that. Led by Indiana Jones. I'm taking them. Minus 14.5. The Titans are terrible. And finally, you have Aaron Rodgers returning. Well, not necessarily returning, but playing the Packers. Even though it's in Pittsburgh, the only team Aaron Rodgers has never beat in his career, probably because he played for them for 95% of his career. But you got the Steelers hosting the Packers. The Packers are favored in this game by 2.5. I'm going to take the Steel Curtain at plus 2.5. I think that Pittsburgh team, that Pittsburgh organization is going to be locked for Aaron Rodgers in this contest. So I'm going to take the Steelers at home plus the 2.5. Those are your picks this weekend in the National Football League. Tail us, don't tail us, do whatever you'd like to do, but hopefully we win you some banana peels. Let's get into the college football portion of the program.
Seska's Sense, your weekly college football bananas, only on the Rome Show. Compliments of Rich Seska. Rich Seska is not liable for bad decisions you make with your bananas. These plays are merely educated guesses or even high-level personal intuition. This is not a get-rich-quick or pyramid scheme. We do not call ourselves experts, just fans. Viewer banana spending advised.
I'll tell you what, though, these non-experts are doing a pretty good job making some picks for the people. Here's your record on Seska Sense so far this year. You got a 16-9 overall record. That's 7 games over 500 overall. So like I've been saying, if you haven't been banana splitting with us, you need to start banana splitting with us. 14-6 in not the Sun Belt. And then we are 2-3 in the Sun Belt. Let's take a look at the picks this week for the one and the only Seska sense. We're going to start with UCLA versus Indiana. UCLA plus 25.5 here. Indiana hands down the better team. We know this, but UCLA is 3-0 since firing their coach. They have some mojo right now under Tim Skipper. How about that? The new skipper's named Skipper. Tim Skipper, that offense under new Heisel, they're looking good. 25 is a lot to cover if you are Indiana. So we're taking UCLA at the plus 25 and a half. Navy versus Florida Atlantic, we're going under 64.5. Why? Undefeated Navy team should win, and they're averaging 305 rushing yards. We're looking for a lot of hold the football here if you're Navy, and that's the type of offense they play. Give us the under at 64.5. Mississippi State versus Texas. Mississippi State is 6-1 versus the spread this year. At home, has a top 25 win against Arizona State already and lost to Tennessee, a top 25 team in extra time. We don't really know on this show if we trust Arch Manning, so we're taking Mississippi State at the plus 7.5. Finally, staying in the SEC, Tennessee versus Kentucky. Kentucky's one of the worst teams in the SEC, only averaging 16 points per game in SEC play. Tennessee, on the flip side, averaging 44 points a game. That's the third best in college football. Tennessee's going to make a playoff push. They got to get it right, especially on the defensive side. And it starts in this contest. Tennessee at the minus 7.5. Finally, it's your Sun Belt pick of the week. We are the official show of the Sun Belt. Resident friend of the program, Charles Huff, and Southern Mississippi take on Louisiana Monroe. Southern Miss is undefeated in Sun Belt play. And Louisiana Monroe hasn't scored more than 14 points in the last 3 games. So we're going to take Southern Miss there, and friend of the program, Charlie Huff, at the minus 11.5. Those are your Seska Cents for Week 8 college football.
Seska's Sense, your weekly college football bananas, only on the Rome Show. Compliments of Rich Seska. Rich Seska is not liable for bad decisions you make with your bananas. These plays are merely educated guesses or even high-level personal intuition. This is not a get-rich-quick or pyramid scheme. We do not call ourselves experts, just fans. Viewer banana spending advised.
And we'll finish with this, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, thank you. A little write-in from CB Services AU. Good luck on your show and its journey moving forward. CB, I appreciate you, man. That means a lot. Thanks for tuning in and commenting on the YouTube. Thank you to everybody that tuned in on Instagram. I'm getting some great comments here, and I appreciate it. Jay Keefe's still writing in. He said, I know you said it before, but it's not easy to win in Canada. Bro, I can just remember the times you and I went to Canada, tried to win together. What a good time. Great time. Canada, great, but very difficult to win baseball games there. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you to everybody that has wished me a very, very happy birthday. You enjoy my birthday as much as I do. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have an electric weekend. Andrew Romanella. Out.
Thank you for listening.